Stop. Right now in America, the median household has $87,000 saved for retirement. Not 87,000 invested, 87,000 saved total. And that is the median. Half the country has less. Meanwhile, Americans say they need $1.46 million to retire comfortably in 2026. That is $200,000 more than they thought they needed last year. The gap between where most people are and where they think they need to go is not just uncomfortable. It is structural. It is a canyon. But here is the part the retirement industry never mentions. Because panic is good for product sales, that gap runs in both directions. Some of you are sitting on the right side of it, quietly, without knowing it. The reason you do not know is that being on track for a top 5% retirement does not look like what wealth is supposed to look like. It does not have a theme song. It does not have a Rolex. It does not even necessarily have a nice car. It looks like 3 specific behaviors most people find too boring to continue. Stick with me for 10 minutes. Your speedometer is probably showing more than you think. Meet Marcus and Dave. They work at the same company. Marcus earns about $85,000 per year. He drives a 10-year-old Toyota Camry with a dent in the bumper. He brings lunch to work most days. He and his wife vacation once a year, usually somewhere within a day's drive. Dave leases a new Tesla, talks about his crypto positions over lunch, explains his multiple income streams. He has 2 brokerage apps on his phone. He checks them before 9 a.m. Recently put money into an emerging markets fund because he had a good feeling about it. Dave feels like he is working toward something. Marcus does not particularly feel like anything. Keep these 2 in your mind. We will come back to them. 3 signs that separate the people who are on track for a top 5% retirement from the people who only feel like they are. The average personal savings rate in the United States. For percent of disposable income. For cents kept for every dollar earned. 96 cents out the door. For percent is what the system defaults to. For percent is the water most fish swim in. Ramsey Solutions research found that roughly 70% of millionaires earned under $100,000 per year while building their wealth. 70% of millionaires were not high earners. They were high savers. If you earn $100,000 per year and save 4%, you are putting aside $4,000 annually. If you earn $70,000 and save 20%, you are putting aside $14,000 annually. After 10 years of compounding, the $70,000 earner has built substantially more retirement wealth than the $100,000 earner, who spent 96 cents of every dollar. The number that matters is not the size of your paycheck. It is the size of the gap between what you earn and what you consume. That gap is your wealth engine. The discomfort you feel at a savings rate above 15% is not evidence that you are doing something wrong. It is evidence that you are doing something rare. Always a little tight, but never actually broke. That is what structural wealth building feels like. From the inside. Not abundance. Not ease. A small, manageable, tolerable pressure that year after year is doing enormous work. Underneath the surface, the investor who checks their portfolio multiple times a day has opinions about individual stocks. Moved into a sector ETF a few months ago because they had a strong thesis. Is behaviorally actively engaged. And according to the actual data, Morningstar, February 2026, They are almost certainly underperforming. A boring index fund. In 2025, only 38% of actively managed mutual funds beat their passive index counterparts after fees, down from 42% the year before. Over the 10 years ending in June 2025, just 21% of active strategies survived and outperformed their index counterparts. 21%. 79% of professional managers with analyst teams and multi-billion-dollar capital bases did not beat what a retired postal worker in Kansas can buy from Vanguard for free. Over 10 years, 95% of actively managed large-cap core funds have lagged the S&P 500. 95%. Here is the fee story. Two investors, both age 35. Both start with 100,000 and add 10,000 per year for 30 years. Both portfolios earn 7% gross annually. The only variable, fees. Investor 1, low-cost index funds, 0.1% fees. Investor 2, traditional advisor, 1% advisor fee plus 0.5% fund expenses. Total cost, 1.5%. After 30 years. Investor 1, approximately $1.7 million. Investor 2, approximately $1.2 million. The difference, $500,000. Not from market risk. Not from bad timing. From fees. Investor 2 probably checked their account more often, had better conversations about it at parties, and had more interesting things to say about the market, and ended up $500,000 poorer. For the effort. Boredom is not a failure of ambition. Boredom is the alpha. At the median net worth level in America, home equity represents 59 to 73% of total wealth. For households in their 50s through 80s, more than half of everything most people have is sitting in their walls, in a structure they live in, that they cannot draw income from, that they cannot liquidate, without either selling their home, taking a HELOC, or executing a reverse mortgage, all of which have significant costs, complexities, and limitations. For households in the top 1% of net worth, home equity represents less than 15% of their total wealth, sometimes as low as 4%. Here is an illustration. Person A, age 60. House worth $500,000, no mortgage. $80,000 in a 401k. Person B, age 60. House worth $250,000, small mortgage. $250,000 in a taxable brokerage account. $150,000 in a Roth IRA. Person A. Retirement income equals Social Security plus $80,000. Person B. Two accounts they can draw from tax efficiently. A paid-off healthcare strategy. And a growing income machine. Person B retires better, with significantly lower net worth. Home equity is not income. Home equity is real estate appreciation that you cannot spend without disruption. Sarah, age 42, earns $110,000 per year. Her savings rate over the last 12 years, about 20%. $12,000 per year into her 401k, a plus 6% match. The remaining $10,000 into a taxable brokerage account. Her total portfolio expense ratio, approximately 0.08%. She rebalances once a year, usually in January. Her current investable net worth, not counting the house, approximately $420,000. Her home adds about $200,000 in equity. Total net worth: $620,000. Home equity: 32% of total net worth. She does not feel rich. She drives a 5-year-old Honda. She did not renovate her kitchen. When friends talk about their European vacations, she is mostly quiet. Here is what the math says about where she is going. At 7% average annual return, continuing to add $22,000 per year in total contributions, Sarah will have approximately $1.17 million in investable assets alone. In roughly 15 years, she will be age 57. That is before Social Security, before any home equity, before any inheritance. The number $1.17 million in investable assets puts her at the approximate threshold for top 5% retirement wealth. She will get there not because of a hot stock tip, not because she timed the market, not because of a product nobody knows about. She will get there because she was mildly uncomfortable for 15 years, because she had a boring portfolio with low fees, and because her net worth is mostly investable assets rather than walls. She will not feel like she got there. She will feel like she just kept doing what she always did. That is exactly how it is supposed to feel. 1. Calculate your actual all-in savings rate today, not your 401k deferral percentage. All savings, all accounts, divided by gross income. If it is below 15%, you know what the work is. If it is above 15%, you are doing something that a majority of American households have never done consistently in their lives. 2. Audit your total investment fee load. Pull every account. Add up every expense ratio plus any advisory fee. If your all-in cost exceeds 0.5% annually, you are giving away compounding for services. That according to Morningstar, Spiver, and about 20 years of consistent data, almost certainly do not add enough return to justify the cost. 3. Look at the ratio of investable assets to home equity. If home equity represents more than 60% of everything you have, your net worth is not working for your retirement as hard as it looks like it is. You do not need to sell the house. You need to accelerate building assets on the other side of the ledger. Taxable brokerage accounts, maxed out retirement accounts, Roth conversions, if eligible. Grow the investable side faster than the house appreciates. The people who retire quietly, early, and comfortably almost never have a story you would want to tell at a party. They did not find the right stock. They did not have a great year. They just did not stop. The speedometer ran. They covered the miles. And one day, they looked up and realized they were somewhere most people never get. Now, Marcus versus Dave. Marcus did not know. Dave did not know. Now you know. Here is what you will do right now. 1. Hit subscribe, because the algorithm will not show you the next video if you do not. 2. Calculate your savings rate. Not a guess. The actual number. Write it in the comments. 3. Send this video to one person who says, "I feel behind." Tell them, your speedometer is probably showing more than you think. The speedometer does not need you to watch it to keep moving. See you at the next mile marker.